Living in survival mode all of the time, because it's what we learned to do in our childhood, is exhausting. There's my blanket statement. And if you want to hear more about that, let's talk. Because survival mode is living from fear, fear that you won't be loved, fear that you're not enough, fear that loss is imminent. You're always going to be left out in the cold. You're going to be left behind. You're not going to belong. Your bad things always happen to you. There's no trust because trust has been broken so many times, that you're looking for love and love is never being offered to you. That's survival mode. It's a lot of work mentally. Let's get really clear on that. Mentally, our head's on a swivel, looking around with our spiritual eyes. Am I being rejected? Am I worthy of love? And oftentimes, when we've had experiences in our childhood, like with our parents, if they were emotionally unavailable, then we tried really hard to get their love, to get their attention, to be cute and funny and responsible and smart. And we did a lot of trying because love was conditional. It was conditional if we made them look good, if it looked like they were good parents, if they were doing good things in the public eye, right? They wanted the recognition for your behavior. So if your behavior wasn't good in their eyes, then there was a lack of love. Like they just withheld the love. And love, if you've heard me talk before, I always say undiluted love is the absence of judgment. So if our parents are like, I don't like your behavior, I need you to change so I can be happy, that was us self-abandoning. Oh, I can't do what I want to do or explore the way I want to explore. Or, even things such as we wanted to explore nature and our parents were a little bit helicopterish and they were like, oh, don't do that. Oh, you're going to get hurt. And they've prevented the struggle in our lives the whole time instead of letting us just experience life and learn about it and that sort of thing. When that happens in a relationship where the absences of love is present, meaning the judgment was high, which puts fear in us, and the love was low because it was conditional, we probably attract those relationships now. And if we do, you can notice that you have a need. I need comfort. I need you to hold me. I need love. And we have a level of insecurity that is not naturally inherent in our personalities. We weren't insecure as babies. We were highly dependent on our caregivers to nurture us and co-regulate our little nervous systems, because babies cannot regulate their nervous system by themselves. They need co-regulation. That's why skin time was important. That's why being held while you were being fed is important, and that you're not just put in a crib for 12 hours a day to fend for yourself. We needed to be held and touched and reassured that all was going to be well. That is how we built confidence. That is how we built attachment styles. That is how we determined a sense of self. So when all this is going on in our childhood, however much our parents were able to connect with us in an unconditional way, the better. Like we probably have found secure attachment in other relationships. But if there was a lack of trust, if there was gaslighting, if there was any kind of control or manipulation of your little spirit, your little body, your little person, then you probably have attracted those kinds of relationships where there's control, manipulation, and that's the same as us. So let me just throw this little caveat in there. It's everybody's favorite. And that is the scripture in Matthew where it says, this is super paraphrased, but you're looking around at everybody else and looking at the motes in their eyes, yet you're walking around with a beam in your own. There isn't a person on the planet that is beamless. Let's just say that. And when I say that, usually, this is how it works. If you see a problem with how somebody else is behaving, it is because you recognize a wound in you that is unhealed. There is a matching energy. So some people, they don't bother you at all. Other people, they really irritate you and annoy you. And that is a sign that you're like, oh, that there's something about what they're doing that I think is wrong that is still in me. That's the beam, right? And so when we get in these relationships where we're trying so hard, we're just struggling to get the love we think we deserve, to get enough attention, to get enough validation, to be recognized for the amazing light and love that we are, like we're just trying. We try at work, we try at church, we try with our friends in our community. We're just trying. We're just putting ourselves out there, constant. I need you to see that I'm a good person. I need you to notice that I'm a good person. I need to show up in your eyes as responsible, happy, loving, funny, whatever. We're still doing the same thing we did when we were kids, except for we do it in our adult world now. And that's only a problem when it's exhausting, when we're just still looking at the mote in everybody else's eye and ignoring the beam in ours. Doing the healing work is noticing the beam, recognizing it's not a problem. It's been there your whole life. Like, so you have a beam. Okay. And we all have one. There's no shame in walking around with a beam in your eye. However, that beam is making you uncomfortable because it keeps getting your attention to look at the mote in everybody else's eyes. Now we're out there going, oh, you're not giving me the love. I'm having to try super hard and you're not noticing and you're not validating, and it's not their job. That's the problem. It was our parents' job to nurture us. It is not everybody else's job after the age of 18 to make up the difference that we lacked in our childhood. So in our relationships, our spouses, our partners, our friendships, we're like, you guys are not giving me what I need. That's mote outward looking. You're looking at the problem based on other people's behavior, and that cannot be the reason that you are still unhappy. Your happiness is a feeling inside of you. The happiness that you're looking for is in here. Because if you heal the beam in your eye, whatever that might be, some past condition, some past misperception, some false belief that you're acting as if it's true, something is lacking love. That's the beam. There's judgment there, there's fear, there's survival. It's in your eye because that's where your perspective is, right? And it's causing you, your perspective is a thought that turns on your nervous system and floods you with fight or flight. I need to defend myself, over-explain myself. I need to blame other people just to protect myself. Or you need to run away and disappear and be invisible because it's better not to be criticized by other people that we've attracted into our lives that remind us of our childhood. There's so much to unpack, but the healing is when you're like, hey, I have a beam in my eye. In fact, I have like 95 because I have a lot of angst in the world. My anxiety's high. Depression has been present. The fear, the disconcerting thoughts that I have about the things that could happen again, or, something happened once and it could happen twice. And all of that, when you heal that, guess who feels better? Guess whose suffering stops? Guess who is operating from thriving? Guess who feels the love that they deserve? Guess who feels complete, whole, steadfast, immovable, and unwavered by other people's low frequency and frustrations? That would be you. You're the winner. And it takes time. We didn't get here overnight. Like, we have had these beliefs and perceptions and fears for a very long time, but they don't have to stay that way. This is where your healing happens. Nobody can do the work for you. No one can change enough to make you feel better. You are the one. And you can actually think about what you're thinking about. So there's a lot of hope there. Because you can think about what you're thinking about that causes you to feel a certain way. And if those feelings are negative, guess what? Those beliefs are not full of love. There's a lack of love and more judgment, more fear, more survival. But you learned it, so you can also unlearn it. That gives you hope that all is going to be well.